Hi, everyone. Mike Barba here from the Pennsylvania Chiropractic Association. The PCA goes out of our way to really find great partners that can bring value to your organization, can bring value to your practice, and can really help you save in your bottom line. We at the PCA, like a lot of businesses, struggle with credit card processing fees and finding the right partner for it. So we've been spending about a year now looking for the best partner. And we came across North. North is a company that not only gives favorable terms to not only ourselves, but are going to give favorable terms to our business partners. But this is a real opportunity for you to save in the bottom line on something that I think we all forget is something that we can actually affect change if we find the right partner for it. So I'd like to introduce everyone to Ryan Moss. Ryan Moss is the Senior Director of Enterprise Sales at North. He's going to be your point of contact in regards to how we're going to work going forward with the organization. You're going to start seeing advertisements for North in our newsletter that's coming up this month. Ryan, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for partnering with the PCA to bring North to our membership. Why don't you give us a little bit of an overview of what North is?
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you having me on, Mike, and definitely excited for the phone call here. So wanted to obviously give you guys some background on North. North, we've been in the payment processing space since 1992. So been around for a long time. We are one of the largest private acquirers in the country, process for hundreds of thousands of businesses nationwide, really do specialize in the medical space, anything from large medical practices, chiropractic offices, pharmacies, hospitals, telehealth merchants. We do it all. Really, a great thing to know about North is that we do own our own processing platform, which is huge in the processing space. Really, the end-to-end payment ecosystem all goes through us. So no payments are outsourced to any third-party processor. So everything is done in-house. And really, the benefit of that is that it leads to much more dedicated service, hands-on service. Like Mike mentioned, I'll always be the point of contact. So really looking forward to partnering with the members of PCA and offering them some streamlined processing solutions and definitely saving some money as well. So looking forward to it.
Ryan, one of the things that I think I hear all the time from members is I bring in these, and we try to really carefully curate our business partners, right? We really
Sure.
go through a long process. I think Ryan can attest that we took quite a while to vet the contract, to go back and forth to making sure that we had a really good relationship and how this would work out. But credit card processing is one of those things that you don't realize how much you're spending on credit card processing until you kind of get to the end of the year and you look back and go, my God, I spent X.
Yep.
And how can I not pay so much for really the privilege of giving my clients the opportunity to pay with credit card? We know using a credit card or really any kind of card-based processing system saves time, it saves money, it saves checks being returned when you accept a
Yep.
check or the inevitable. And let's be honest, I think every chiropractor has probably heard this 1,000 times. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot that I had a copay. And
Yeah.
that's one of those situations that put them in a really tough spot. So, can you kind of share with us about why it would make sense to switch to North? What makes North special in regards to a lot of companies, and especially a lot of our vendors currently
Sure.
use credit card processing? What can North do to help them and save them on their bottom line?
No, absolutely. Two things I always stress is technology and service. The reality is that all the different processing companies in the industry, and there's hundreds of them, most of them offer similar solutions, whether it be a standalone terminal, whether it be a POS system, an online gateway. But with North, we really have a full development team, an integrations team. So on the software side, if there are any particular either practice management softwares or any, again, specific softwares that these chiropractic offices are using, we either already have an integration with them or we can get an integration with them. That's something that a lot of other processors can't offer. Going back to the service as well, everything done in-house with us, so there are no third parties involved. A lot of these smaller processing companies, you sign up for service, they'll outsource it. They have an offshore underwriting team. Customer service and support isn't going to be there 24/7 for them. So not only will you have a dedicated service rep with us, but you have that technology on the back end. So really a full end-to-end product suite, anything that a merchant would need, whether it be an online gateway, direct integration, APIs, we do it all. So really want to just streamline that process for them, make it much easier, and provide that service that they need as well.
I think a lot of credit card processing is there's a little bit of a mystery to how it actually works and how the dollars work. What are the most common ways chiropractic offices are losing money when they are working with a single credit card processor?
Knuckle busters. So that's
Exactly.
kind of the old school method, which there's still businesses out there that are using them. So,
Sure.
but when it comes to really fees, it's a lot of these junk fees that these processors are adding on. And the unfortunate reality is that a lot of these business owners either don't even receive statements each month. So they have no idea really knowing what they're paying at the end of the day, or they just don't have the time and patience to go through them. I've been in the industry myself for over 20 years, and I still see some statements from processing companies, and it takes me hours to go through them just because they hide so many fees on the back end. They increase what's called interchange rates, which every company has the same cost from Visa, MasterCard, but it's a matter of how much that company is going to mark up the cost. So I've seen what's called padded interchange, but it's really just a lot of these junk fees that we avoid. We want to make it straightforward for all of our merchants. Every merchant that signs up with North is going to have access to our back-end portal, which is very user-friendly. They can view and see everything involving their business, their day-to-day transactions, when funds are deposited. They can pull their monthly statements. So it really gives them a fine detail of every transaction that they run through the company.
Let's dig into a little bit more of those kind of the monthly statement. I love the idea of a back end portal that they're actually able to see everything in real time.
Yep.
But if you were, there's going to be some chiropractors who are not necessarily interested in switching right away. And so let's talk about what they should be looking for when they're looking at those statements, if they get those statements. And I think you made a really interesting point. When I
Mhm.
started with this organization a couple of years ago, I realized that we were being charged through the nose for our credit card processing, just
Sure.
crazy. And then what we had is we had a lot of credit cards for some reason wouldn't go through. And
Mhm.
so we were sometimes getting double, triple dipped for just the transaction fee
Yep.
and not
Happens quite a
including
bit.
the percentages, right? And it really adds up. At the end of the year, it was enough for me to hire a part-time person just in credit
Yeah.
card processing fees, right? And so
Yep.
it's one of those things that for us it was a wake-up call. How do we manage this? How do we make sure that we're only dinging the card or paying the fee when it was
Mhm.
appropriate, when we knew it was going to go through, as
Right.
opposed to the shot in the dark that we were doing before? Can you kind of give me two or three warning signs that they should look for? You mentioned it before in
Mhm.
regards to added fees and what have you, but are there things that is in credit card vocabulary that they should
Yeah.
know about that you can maybe point out to us to educate my people?
Sure. The easiest way to really calculate what it is you're paying, the true fees at the end of the month, is finding what that overall effective rate is. And I can't tell you how many business owners I talk to, and their first question to me is, "What's our rate?" Or I'll ask them, "Do they have any idea what they're paying?" And 9 times out of 10, they have no idea what they're paying. So really, the easiest way to analyze a statement, you look at what the total fees that are being charged at the end of the month, divided by what that total monthly volume is. And if it ends up being 4 or 5%, they're paying too much. And that includes, again, a lot of these added junk fees, whether it be software fees, support fees. Companies will put so many different labels on these fees. Most of them don't really provide any type of value to these business owners. So there's just different ways for businesses to kind of hide and name the fees. But at the end of the day, what's the overall effective rate? What am I paying each month based on my total monthly volume? Depending on the card types that each business owner is receiving, it can vary month to month, obviously, but in that 3% range is the sweet spot. Some months might be a little bit lower, some months might be a little bit higher, but it's really our job to analyze and break down that statement for business owners, and we can show them exactly what it is they're paying, do a side-by-side cost comparison for them. The industry, it's unfortunately not a one size fits all, just because depending on how a business owner is accepting payments, whether it be in person with their clients or patients, if it's over the phone, through invoicing, e-commerce, there's different rates that apply to those different types of transactions. But we'll definitely simplify it, make sure that each business owner is getting the absolute best processing program and pricing for their business.
Yeah, to add to that, a lot of our chiropractic offices receive payments in several ways. They include
Sure.
co-paid payments, wellness plans, retail items that they may be selling there in their practices. So sometimes even
Yep.
events or program fees that are included in that. How can North help simplify that for them?
Whatever a business owner needs, we have a solution for them. So like I mentioned earlier, it's not a one size fits all box in this industry. It's just really depending on how that individual practice or business is accepting payments. Some prefer to use or are using just a standalone terminal. If that works for them, we have that option. Others like to process payments online. They send invoices. We have that solution. Some are using a specific practice management software where they would want payments embedded into that software. So it's just a one-time solution where they don't have to go different directions to accept payments. We can do that for them. So we really cater to each business owner's needs. Whatever they need as a solution, we have that option for them.
A lot of my docs will sometimes I'll bring up a brand new vendor for them to take a look at, and they'll say,
Mhm.
"Boy, I really like the idea of this, but training my staff is going to be really tough to get them up to speed with this. I like that you integrate into the practice management systems. I think that's huge.
Yep.
But what kind of training modules do you all have to ensure that the staff who are really busy, they're managing
Sure.
schedules and billing and people at the front desk and patient flow to make sure that they have all the information they need to be successful at processing credit card payments for their individual practice?"
Sure. Yeah, every merchant that is processing with North, they always receive a welcome package that really breaks down and explains how they're going to be processing payments, gives them instructions. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a 24/7 support line. So any questions that a merchant may have, they can call in at any time. But it's really whatever's going to be the simplest, most streamlined solution for them. We're going to be doing full training with everyone, making sure that they understand exactly how to process those payments. Going back to the portal that I mentioned as well, Mike, really just allows them to send invoices directly through the portal, whether it be reoccurring invoices. We can do tokenization data, where if any businesses or any patients are on a reoccurring type cycle, we can have their payment information stored where it'll automatically just bill them a certain day each month. But as far as training goes, anything that a practice owner would need, we walk them through it step by step. We make sure that everything is running smoothly for them.
So let's say we have somebody who gives you a call and they want to set up a time to actually talk about their current processing against what
Mhm.
North could potentially do for them. What would they need to bring to really have a fair comparison between you and credit card processor X? What would you
Sure.
like them to have with them to start this dialogue with you?
No, absolutely. That's a great question. Really, the best way is obviously to break down a current processing statement. I know not every business owner gets statements, or if they are sent, they don't know how to access them. But in
Right.
order really to do an accurate side by side, apples to apples comparison, breaking down a statement is going to be the best way because that way we can see what card types they're getting. Like I mentioned, there's different costs that apply to different cards, whether someone's using their own personal debit check card, whether it's a standard credit card, whether it's a reward card, corporate card. There's a list a mile long. Most business owners really only receive 5, 6 different card types, but that existing statement really breaks it all down for them. So then that way, what we can do is break down this is exactly what you're paying currently. This is what you'd have with North. It calculates the savings for them and really gives them an apples to apples comparison. So that's the best way. Obviously, if that is not accessible, we'll talk through how they're accepting payments, what their monthly volume is, and we'll obviously make sure that there's the best pricing program for them. But we have any and all types that would work for them. We have what's called our Edge program, which is really the newest program that countless business owners are using nowadays, where it's a true dual pricing program where it passes on that cost of acceptance to the customer. What that in essence does is it eliminates the processing fees that the practice would end up paying. So, of course, the more monthly volume that they're processing with that program, the more money that they're going to be saving. That's an option. Traditional pricing is an option, but we'll talk through each individual business owner's wants and needs and really structure a program that's going to be best suited for them.
Yeah, I think programs like that where you're able to convey to your patient that you're going to charge back X because it does cost to do that, I think it is a great program. I think it's a huge
Mhm.
program if we can actually get that
Yeah,
implemented as a practice. We at the PCA are certainly exploring that here on how we can have
yep,
people opt to do that and therefore really help us out long term because every dollar that comes to us is deployed on behalf of chiropractic. And so if we
absolutely.
could save a few percentage, that really adds up in a year. And I think it would really add
It's
up
huge.
for the practice. Um,
Absolutely.
what is one mistake that you could tell a chiropractor or PCA members to avoid when they're looking and evaluating these things? I know you said the best thing to do is to get your current credit card processor, bring it in, and let's go apples to apples and comparing with you. What happens is a lot of people they know a guy that knows a guy that says that this guy is a
Sure.
great processing. And so, what's something that they should avoid when they're looking at agreements with other companies, not just North?
Sure. Number one, read your agreement. Make sure that you understand exactly what it is you're signing up for. I've seen agreements where a company will say, hey, we're going to provide you with a free terminal, for example, but they're locked into a 3 or 4 year agreement. And if they have to cancel, not only are they charged X amount for the terminal, which is normally 5 to 10 times what it normally costs, but then they also get charged these outrageous cancellation fees. So really asking questions from that individual processor. What is the contract length, if any? Is there a termination fee? With North, there is not. So that's a huge benefit. We're not locking you into to anything, but we want to make sure that you're getting the absolute best service. And our goal is that every business that we partner with us for the lifetime of their business. But really asking the right questions. The easiest sign up is normally not the best sign up. You want to make sure that you are with a large and reputable direct processor that keeps everything in house and really that provides that service that each business owner needs.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is so valuable in having the conversation with North or with anybody who is
Mhm.
knowledgeable about this. Of course, North wants you to have business with them, but I think it's always valuable to meet with a subject matter expert and really
Absolutely.
understand the way that they look at questions, right? I find I learn more by the questions people ask me that are experts at something more than me just spouting off about that. So I think that's a huge thing. So speaking of that, if a member is interested, they're not ready to switch right away, they're not committing to switching, but they're interested in having a conversation with you, what's the best way to start with this, Ryan? What would you like them to do? Would they reach out to you directly?
Yeah.
What's the best way to get started with this?
Best way, reach out to me directly. Obviously, you'll have all my contact information to provide to your members, but reach out to me directly. I'm always willing to have an in depth conversation, finding out more about that business, guiding them in the right direction. What's going to be the best solution for them? What are their wants and needs? We're all about providing value. In this industry, it's a lot of people think it's just about cost. I can save X amount with this company, and that's great. Obviously, that's our goal as well, but it's providing value on the back end. It's making processing easier. It's streamlining their solutions. It's providing added technology that a lot of companies don't have. So we really want to provide an end-to-end processing suite for every business owner that we work with. So reach out to me directly. Again, more than willing to have a conversation to find out more about your business and point you in the right direction.
And something that we've not talked about yet, North being a partner with the PCA, is
Mhm.
that a percentage of every transaction that they have is actually going to benefit the organization, which is helping us with our legislative agendas, helping us with our fight with insurance companies and the like. And choosing North or really any of the partners that we have as part of our vendor base, our strategic business partners, helps the PCA out in the long term, which ultimately helps the future of chiropractic and you directly. So that's an important thing as well. Ryan,
Absolutely.
why don't you give us the last elevator pitch? Give us a why should they call North? Why is this important? What are they leaving on the table? Let's this is your time to go ahead and talk about why North is going to transform their practices.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate the opportunity, of course, for working with you and your members. We definitely don't take that lightly. We value every business owner that we work with. We want to make sure that every business owner is getting the best pricing and they're getting the best service. This industry, it's something that a lot of business owners don't have that much knowledge in. They're just signing up with whoever the first company that reaches out to them, or whoever the easiest company is, or whoever's telling them that they're saving them money. We really want to provide that added value. Again, like I mentioned earlier, whatever a business owner needs to process payments, a standalone terminal, an online gateway, if they send invoices, we do it all for them. And we make sure that we're walking you through every step of that process to making sure that you do feel secure and you know that your business is protected. Having access to that portal really allows you to see the day-to-day operations of your business. And again, anyone needs anything, reach out to me directly, and we're going to make sure that you guys are taken care of.
Ryan, this has been a great conversation. Thank you for partnering with the PCA and thank you for really bringing this opportunity to our members so that they can actually save some money. Let's be honest. We're all in
Yeah,
this to save some money and to make some things happen for ourselves. And the
absolutely.
best way to build wealth is the money you keep, right?
Of
And so
course.
that's the idea that we're trying to grow. So, Ryan, I thank you for being here on behalf of the Pennsylvania Chiropractic Association. I thank all of our members for watching and look forward to sending you more information about North. Thank you, North.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much. And looking forward to working with you guys.
All right, hold on for a second. I'm going to end the recording. Is there
Yep.
anything you wanted me to ask that I didn't ask that I can certainly do that now?
I think at the end of the day, we just want to simplify that process. It's about education. Again, the reality is just a lot of these business owners don't know what they're signing up for. They just think, hey, I'm going to sign up with a company and I'm going to assume that what they're telling me is correct. And I'm going to hope that the fees that they mentioned are what I'm being paid or what I'm being charged. But again, by really analyzing the statement, kind of getting to the nuts and bolts of what these business owners need and want for their practice to be successful, that's what our goal is, making sure that they are taken care of and they're getting the best program.